I'm Mr. O, and it's time to take another sideways view at our crazy world.
In my house, there is a light switch in our downstairs bathroom. You flip it up, the lights go on. You flip it down, the lights stay on. The switch has a trick. You have to push the switch slightly to the left and down to make the lights go off. You might think we should get this fixed, but why? We all know how to turn it off. That switch has taught us very well. It's also a lot of fun when friends come over. They go to the restroom, and after they're done, they can't turn off the lights. I come by and flip the switch a few times, and it works fine. And I laugh at them. They, in turn, commit themselves to a crazy house. This could be why I don't have a lot of friends, but I doubt it. I think my charm and humor are just too much for most people, but I digress. My brother has a car that won't start unless you take a long stick and tap the starter. It would cost $500 to fix. That's 56,780 Japanese yen, or 154,655 Hungarian forintz. And that translates to 237,200 Armenian drams. 237,000 anythings is just too much to pay to get a 10-year-old car fixed, especially when you know the easy way to get it started. Everyone's got something like this in their life. A remote control you have to hold at a certain angle to power the TV, a toaster you have to stand on cardboard, or the switch won't hold, a radio that you have to tap the back slightly, firmly hit it twice on the side, turn it off, then on again, and finally blow into the speaker before it will start to play. Heck, my very own mother keeps a large can of lubricant next to the window in her sunroom. Whenever she wants to open that window, it's a long process of yanking up on the window with her left hand and shoving the can in the slot to hold it there with the right. That can is the perfect size. You're confused? Mom says,
"What else would you use a can of lubricant for?"
Maybe it's time she went to a place for a nice rest. The thing I'm trying to say here is that our things teach us the subtleties of how to operate them every day. And we are very good learners. We're such great learners, we'd usually rather continue letting the things teach us than getting things fixed or replaced. The serious problem comes from when we can't stop learning. An old boss of mine used to get to work at 5 a.m. and read emails. This is good for a dude at work. But then he went on a great ski vacation in the Alps. You guessed it, Switzerland, 5 a.m. He was checking emails. That's not vacation. Only a true nudnik would pay 10 grand to go to Disney World so they could tell Mickey Mouse, "Sorry, no pictures. I'm on a conference call." And don't get me started about Armenian drams. Okay, sure, the backgrounds are good, but don't you think this is a little excessive? Then there is every person in the world who has a dog. We don't train dogs. Dogs train us. My good friend works from home and has always gotten up at 8. Then she got a dog. The dog gets up at 5 and wants to go for a walk. Guess what? My friend is now trained to wake up at 5 every morning and get dressed so the dog can have a half-hour walk. She also used to be very energy conscious, but the dog might get lonely, so the TV has to be left on all day when she leaves to see clients. Now, she's never been a great TV watcher, so she only had an old, power-hungry 24-inch tube. It was good for the occasional hour, but not for 3 to 5 days a week. So now the dog owns a 60-inch Energy Star television with Roku because the local channels don't come in very well. I wish my cat owned a TV like that. Sadly, she's more of a tear up the drapes and rip into flesh for entertainment kind of girl. The problem I see with all the learning we are doing, what happens when our brains get full? Take doctors, for instance. Doctors are supposed to know lots of stuff. They go to school for like 10 years to learn stuff. And then they come against all those machines. What happens now? It might start slow. And when they learn that light switch, they only lose 9th grade algebra. But what next? The car, the dog, maybe even a, dare I say it, a baby. And this poor doctor could start forgetting important things. How to have a personality, for instance. This is why all doctors hire a staff. They never want to forget how to charge you for services. How embarrassing would that be? Imagine this ugly scene. A woman is lying in an opulent bedroom and speaks.
Raymond, come to bed. It's 4 a.m.
The man sitting in the chair across the room responds. I know, my love, but again, I have forgotten what to do. After I saw Mrs. Finkelstein this afternoon, my brain tells me it's very important.
Darling, must I tell you this every day? You have to bill her.
Oh yes, thanks, my love. I'll be with you just as soon as I send her a picture of former President Clinton.
The more stuff we acquire, the worse the problem gets. Doctors make lots of money and therefore can get a lot more stuff. Suppose, just suppose, you break your funny bone. You go to see Dr. Frank N. Stein, and he just got a new hamster. He had to learn things about water bottles and cedar chips and cages, and poof, he now only used to be the greatest funny bone specialist in the world. You go in with a bandaged arm, but walk out with a green face, bolts in your neck, all stiff, 3 feet taller, with a strange fear of fire. When anyone asks you what happens, all you can say is, and you can quote me on that. I guess you could sue for malpractice, but that assumes that you can get away from all those friendly travel agents with torches and pitchforks who want to give you a bird's eye view of a local cliff. It boggles the mind. I wonder if this might be a political strategy. They fill people's heads with so much new information, by the time they say,
Vote for the criminal,
everyone just nods their heads and says, sure. If that's so, maybe it could work for me. I've put a whole bunch of facts on this page, and I have a message for all those health nuts in spandex out there.
Donuts are health food.
Hey, it's worth a try.
Thanks for listening, and I hope you laughed a lot. Stop by anytime. Open 24/7 for your smiling convenience. If you liked it, push like or share it with a friend. If you missed an episode, you can hear Mr. O on Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, and Spotify. Remember to subscribe so you won't miss it again. If you'd like, you can send me an email at ohsidewaysview@gmail.com. That's OHHS sidewaysview@gmail.com. And remember what I always say, laugh now. You can be crabby anytime.